Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, or welcome back. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Caterina, or Kat, and this is Infinite Wellness Within. In today's Pick a Card reading, our topic is You Will Have the Life You're Meant to Live. Once you choose your card, you can find the timestamps in the description box below, which will take you to your reading. If you want to book a personal reading with me, you can do that on my website, which is also linked below. As usual, always remember that is the only way to book any of my services with me. So if anyone ever reaches out to you, just know that's not me. All right. You will have the life you're meant to live. Ooh, okay, I feel this is group number 1. And then I feel this group here needs to come out. So I feel it's this one for group number 2. And this bottom one was catching my attention, so let's go ahead and take that one. Okay, let's see what you have. Group number 1, you have number 15 and the waterfall. You also have the Apatite crystal. Group number 2, you have the deer and number 36. You also have the Botswana agate. Group number 3, you have the mountain and number 2, and you have the rainforest Jasper. And in just a moment, I am going to zoom in on the cards so you can see a clear picture of the cards and the crystals. And it's also perfectly fine to choose more than one group if you're drawn to more than one. Just listen to your intuition and that will guide you to the right messages. All right, and I'll see you in your readings. Hello, group number 1. You have the Apatite crystal, and your card is number 15 and waterfall. So I'm getting a couple things going on here. I feel like Spirit is telling you that it is okay to take a leap of faith. Don't let your fears hold you back from doing something out of the ordinary, or doing something that may just be out of the ordinary for you in particular. Because I'm really noticing this little cat here because it's reminding me of the Fool card in the tarot deck, getting ready to take a leap of faith, but kind of looking back in hesitation for a second. But so I'm seeing that. And then the thing that's really catching my attention is here, you have the hand here where Spirit is saying, look, it's okay to take a leap of faith because we will catch you, right? Like you're going to be guided to where you need to go, saying this is the right path for you. Go forward. So don't let hesitation hold you back. Don't let your fears hold you back, because it feels like there's something going on here where you may be letting go of something, or you may be going through some kind of soul growth, or maybe you want to have a change of environment or change your career, or you're just going through a period of like self-growth or something like that. And then you're kind of with this awakening wanting to change other things within your life. So I'm definitely seeing Spirit saying, have faith in your dreams. There's a massive transformation that is waiting for you. Especially here you have, it looks like a moth here. And so the moths go through the transformation process, the metamorphosis, just like the butterflies do. So I just feel like there's so many positive things that you have to look forward to if you take this leap of faith. I mean, even if you don't, but right, this is really, I feel, where your destiny is leading you. So let's look at your other cards. Oh, that one. Okay, well, I guess these are your cards because they both kind of hesitated when I was going to shuffle more. All right. Oh my gosh. No wonder this is your card. You have number 38, Shedding the Old. There is a change coming your way. Cultivate a sense of adventure so you will be able to see the new prospects. Okay. Does this not correspond to what I just said, right? So don't be afraid of these changes. Don't be afraid of shedding your old skin. Also, cultivate a sense of adventure. Isn't that basically what the Fool does? As a sense of adventure, it says, hey, I've got this calling. I'm going to move forward and see what happens. And Spirit is saying, yes, do that, because when you take this leap of faith, you're not going to fall. You're going to jump, right? But you're not falling without a sense of direction, because this hand is right here to help guide you, to help protect you as you go forward. Interesting. Yeah, there's definitely a huge transformation, and I feel it's coming from within. There's something about what you were doing in your life, or the way things were going in your life, that is no longer satisfactory to you. And, I feel it's happening, like this awakening that you're feeling. I'm feeling like it's happening now. Well, obviously it's happening now, but it's like the perfect time for you to go through this. So yeah, Spirit is just saying, follow your dreams. That's the message that just came through. Follow your dreams. Okay. So you have number 28, seeing both sides. Take a step back and try looking at this from a different perspective. Okay, so I feel this has to do with any fears that you might have about moving forward, especially with the sharks here and how a lot of people are afraid of sharks. And also, it's interesting that you have number 38 here and number 28 here. So I'm not quite sure what the significance means. It's just catching my attention, but I'm not really getting information about that yet. We may in the future as we go forward, but yeah. So if you have like a debilitating fear about wanting to change things, try to look at it from a different perspective and see, why am I so afraid of change? Am I really leaving something, or would I be leaving something behind that is beneficial to me? Just questions like that. Like, what is it? What is the core of my fear? Because I feel if you look at it from a different perspective, or if you ask your spirit guides for guidance, you're going to see that with, going forward, the more steps that you take forward, you're going to see that it's not as scary as you thought it was. And you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe that the hammerhead sharks are typically not very dangerous to humans. They typically leave humans alone. I even think they kind of avoid humans. I could be wrong, but if my memory serves me, I think that's kind of the energy of the hammerhead sharks with humans. And so it's like, but if you see a shark, what are you going to do? You're probably, like, if you're in the water, you're probably going to be scared and say, oh my gosh, I have to get out of this water, right? But that's what Spirit is saying, is that it's not actually as dangerous as you think it is. It may look scary, but you're going to be okay. What else? Thank you. Okay. So you also have appreciation. Look at all the butterflies you have up here. There is some really big transformation. So, when I look here at this garden, I feel like you've found your wings, basically, because this little fairy here has the wings, and I feel like you're landing in a safe place. Just like, you took this leap of faith here with the cat here, and you're jumping right into this hand. So there's a safe place there. There's a safe place to land here also. So I feel that once you really get immersed in this, you're going to realize exactly what I just said here, especially once, or with these two cards together, you're going to see once you land, oh, okay, I'm really glad I took that leap of faith. It's not as scary as I thought. So I feel that your thoughts start to transform fairly quickly. I feel like you start to feel better. You feel there's something about you also being appreciated in a new environment, maybe where you currently are or where you were with shedding the old. Maybe you weren't appreciated. Maybe it's, something going on there where it's not reciprocal in whatever the situation is. But yeah, I see you being appreciated. I see you also very, very much appreciating that you took that leap of faith yourself. So you have knowledge. So some of you, I feel you've outgrown where you currently are. There's a sense of, I'm feeling something like, I'm hearing like maturity. So maybe it's just that you've outgrown where you are, or maybe there is something going on in your current situation where you feel like you no longer belong there and you want to learn something new. So maybe you want to take some classes. Maybe you've outgrown your career. Maybe, something is no longer fulfilling. And so you're saying, you know what, I'm going to pursue some sort of study. And this doesn't mean that you're going back to school. This could just mean that you're going to just research something on your own and figure out how to do something on your own. Like maybe if you're going to start your own business, you're going to buy some books or look online and figure out, okay, how do I do that? How do I set up a business? How do I get started? And so on and so forth. I feel another meaning here. This is kind of making me think of the Hermit card, where you've kind of gone within yourself and you've realized that you want to make these changes. It's like this interpersonal growth that you've been going through, and you may even be grateful for certain challenges that you had in your life that led you to this point here, where maybe some of you, I'm hearing, are recognizing certain patterns that you had in your life and you're wanting to change those, or certain habits or something like that. And so it just really feels like there's a massive shift going on interpersonally for you on a soul level. And Spirit says that, yeah, that can be very scary, but, do your best to move forward, because this is what's going to lead you to having the life that you're meant to live. What else can you tell? Oh, thank you. What else can you tell us for group number 1, please? Group number 1 will have the life they're meant to live. What can you tell us about that? All right. Let's set these here. Wow, look at you go here. Look at the Knight of Cups. That's amazing. So this is you saying, okay, you're right. I'm going to go after my dreams. I'm going to go after my heart. I'm going to take that leap of faith. And look at how free you feel. See, it's interesting that this is falling right below shedding the old. Let me read this again to you. There is a change coming your way. Cultivate a sense of adventure. Isn't that basically what we have here? So you will be able to see the new prospects. Yeah. So, again, I'm getting this sense of, if you take a leap of faith, you're landing right here with this horse. If you take a leap of faith here, you're landing right with the hand here. There is something that's going to guide you forward. So it's going to be a combined effort of your intuition, connecting with your spirit guides, and following your heart. But you are absolutely going to end up exactly where you're supposed to be. And you're going to be living this life that I feel is very, very fulfilling for you. So I'm going to move these up a little bit because these cards are really, really big. And so I just want to make sure that we have room for all of your other cards. Okay, so you have the Crone of Swords. Yeah, remember what I was saying right here? And even actually with these two cards combined, but with the Knowledge card making me think of like the Hermit energy. So that's definitely what I'm seeing here. First of all, I feel with the birds here that you've been called in a different direction. And I feel, so it's kind of like the past here and the future here, and you're right in the middle. This is kind of, it feels like maybe right before you're going to take a leap of faith or something, kind of processing everything that's gone on here. And you are really communicating with your higher self, I feel, your spirit guides, anything like that. You're becoming more grounded in who you are or who you want to become, what you want in your life, the things that you want to see change in your life. And I feel that you're taking control of the direction in your life. I feel that you're stepping out of, I'm hearing chaos, but chaos may be a little bit aggressive of a word for some of you. So for some of you, it is a chaotic situation. For some of you, it's just maybe feeling like nothing was really working out for you where you were before, and coming to the realization that, okay, maybe I need to make some changes in my life because this isn't working. So what do I need to do so that I do feel fulfilled? And some of you may have like this light bulb moment because of something that happened that kind of sparked that light bulb moment. Like maybe somebody said something to you at your current job. Maybe it was a boss and you just really felt like you weren't appreciated and you were just kind of like, ew, that just gave me a really gross feeling. And now I feel like I don't even want to work here anymore. And then, through that process, you're kind of sitting here for a while, and then you realize, oh, okay, maybe I should be pursuing something else in my life. Maybe I should pursue this dream that I have. So that's what I'm seeing going on here. Wow, now you have the Crone of Pentacles. Oh, and so I don't know if I mentioned this, but the Crone, these are the kings. So the King of Swords, the King of Pentacles. See, this is really interesting because this King of Pentacles actually has seeds. I don't know if you can quite make that out, but this Crone is dropping the seeds here, and you can see it looks like the Crone already did that here and here. So there's like this new growth happening. So what I am seeing here with these cards combined, this is that soul growth that I was talking about. This is you taking a leap of faith. This is you moving forward with something and you growing something and you landing in a perfect place. There's a lot of stability where you're going. So that's another thing. Maybe where you were with the old, maybe it wasn't stable. Maybe you felt like every day it was chaotic, or every day you didn't know what to expect. And it's a very, very stressful situation. But there's a lot of growth here. So this did come up as I was talking. So if anyone here is going to, or is thinking about starting their own business or changing careers or anything like that, because we do have the Pentacles here, I feel that it's going to bring you a lot of stability, a lot of appreciation. There's a lot of growth here, a lot of longevity, a lot of balance. Finances, okay, finances are very, very secure and abundant, but there's also emotional satisfaction. There's appreciation for what you have grown, how much you have changed, and what you have accomplished. Look at these cards. So now you have the Knight of Wands. Wow. So this is something I feel that you're very passionate about. Definitely you're following your heart. You're saying, you know what? There may be some challenges on my path ahead. And yeah, I may be a little bit scared, but I'm not going to let that stop me from moving forward. Absolutely not. And what's really catching my attention is the Knight has this book here, and the book is closed. But look at when I set this down, the knowledge card, the book here, right? So you were either literally researching something or taking a class or going back to school or just doing some sort of kind of talking to your soul. And then when you're ready, you close the book, but it's like you take it with you. So I feel that you're taking knowledge with you, which could be literal if you're learning something new, or it could just be these lessons that you learned over here. You're taking that knowledge with you and you're going on a new journey. This is something very, very significant. I mean, look at your cards so far. You have all court cards so far. So this is nothing to take lightly on your path. There's a massive, massive transformation coming in for you. So anything that's catching your attention, anything that's pulling at your heartstrings, like I want to make these changes, or I want to move here, or I want to go into this career instead, listen to that. Okay, that's very important right now. All right, so now you have the Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, so I feel that there's a couple things going on here. So I feel, first of all, you were going along your life and you were doing your thing, and then one day you stopped and you were like, wait a minute. Is this really fulfilling? Do I want to stay here? Do I want to continue watering this garden? Or is there more for me? Should I pursue more? Or should I stay where I am? Especially because this is below the knowledge card, and especially everything that came before this. There's a sense of contemplation here, looking at where you are right now and wondering, is that enough? Do you want more? You know, those kinds of things. So the other thing that I'm seeing here is Spirit is saying that if you move forward, if you take that leap of faith, if you nurture something that you have a lot of passion about, it's going to grow. It's going to bear fruit. Is it going to happen overnight? No, unfortunately not with your particular situation. This is something that's going to take some time, but I feel like you're going to enjoy it. I feel you're going to love the growth. And I feel, you know, it's interesting because I feel almost like maybe this plant over here came out first. So this maybe was like the first phase, because this person is looking at this plant over here. So you can see not just that this plant is taller, but this plant has more pentacles on it. So It could be that, there's this gradual growth process, but it could also be that this is kind of what you accomplished over here, and that this, like you were unable to reach your true growth potential over here, but this is what you have to look forward to. So let's see what else you have. The Knight of Wands. Do you see how this is kind of connecting to what I said in the very beginning of the Seven of Pentacles? It feels like you've stopped to analyze things, to look at things. It feels like you've come upon some challenges. And, you have the rainbow right here, but it's kind of like, well, I can't get there. I can see it, but I seem to be limited where I am right now. So I keep getting dual interpretations, like pretty significantly different interpretations, but they're still along the same lines of this reading. So the other side of this card, and it could be because both of these things are applicable for what's going on, because on the other side, what I'm seeing is that as you move forward, there will be challenges. I think I even said that with the Seven of Pentacles. So these two cards definitely belong next to each other. So you will have some challenges. And throughout your journey over here, there's going to be times where you're going to need to pause and you're going to need to evaluate things and figure out, okay, I've made it so far, but there's something missing, or there's something lacking, or, I need to figure out these problems. What do I need to do to go forward, to continue going forward? So as long as you pause along the way and reevaluate things, those answers are going to come to you. And I feel that situations like this, they don't last that long for you. It's kind of like, okay, let me just stop and assess things, and then you figure out the answer, and then you're moving on from that. Especially, remember how I said here, well, obviously you're looking in the book here, but then here it's closed and you're taking it with you. So there's something that you're doing here that you're taking with you that is going to benefit you over here when you come upon challenges on this new path forward. All right, the Star card. Oh my gosh. There is so much meaning in this card. Go after your dreams, first of all. That's why we have Shedding the Old and Knight of Cups here. Go after your dreams. Take a leap of faith. The sky is the limit. You're safe. You're very, very safe. Don't limit yourself to where you feel comfortable. This is a time for you to do things that challenge yourself, to do things that that are allowing, or that will be allowing your soul to grow. I'm seeing some of you are going to meet some very interesting people along your path. So, and some of these people are going to be like little helper guides that kind of come out of nowhere and help you move forward. So just keep that in mind also. Sorry, I'm just moving these up a little bit because these cards are really so big. All right, so let's look at your other cards. Okay. You have the Six of Cups. Okay. Some of you are going to be revisiting something from your past, something that you, like a dream that you gave up on in the past. Because for some of you, you just gave up on it because you didn't think it was practical. And for others of you, you gave up on it because just kind of life got in the way, I feel. Maybe you had to take care of a family member. Maybe you had children. Maybe just the stress of life made you forget about that. It's time to revisit something. I also feel this could be a soul calling that you have here. Spirit is saying, absolutely, you will be receiving a gift regarding this. I feel something could land in your lap also. And I feel that something landing in your lap for some of you might come after you take a leap of faith. It's kind of like you take a leap of faith and you're kind of floating for a minute, and then something lands in your lap. And then for others of you, you may be presented with some sort of offer and you're like, wait a minute, that came out of nowhere. And you may be like, no, I'm good. But then the more you think about it, you're like, wait a minute. And it just kind of sparks something and you're like, let me look into this. Give me just a minute. And then you realize, oh yeah, that's exactly what I want right now. That's exactly what I need. The Tower card, yeah, I mean, this is exactly what we've been talking about for sure. Absolutely. Some of you may have had things fall apart. And that could be your awakening. Remember, I think it was somewhere over here when I was maybe seeing both sides. I don't really remember, but when I was talking about maybe you have a job and your boss isn't appreciating what you're doing, and then you came to the realization, like, do I even want to be here anymore? So something like that could be happening here. Maybe you had a breakup in a relationship or a divorce or something like that, and you're like, you know what? It is time for me. It's time for me to focus on myself and my goals. Maybe you have children and they left the house and now you have this empty nest and you're like, you know what? I think it's time for me to focus on me again and do something for myself. Because this is the Tower card. But this is such an amazing Tower card because it's like you have all of these new opportunities. You have the scissors here. So it's definitely, taking me back to shedding the old, because yes, you have the Tower card, but I feel like you're in control. And the more that you step forward into this new path, the more that you are in control going forward. So yeah, okay, the Chariot, yep, see how you're moving forward? And what's really interesting about this Chariot card is that you're kind of in space here. So you're doing something that I feel is, why did I just hear astrologically driven? Maybe there's something going on in your chart at this specific moment in your life where it's pointing to drastic changes or something like that. So yeah, that could be something, but I'm also seeing you returning to who you're supposed to be, returning to like a calling that you have in this life, doing something that you're meant to accomplish in this lifetime. I also see you're leaving something behind. You're going into the unknown. You're doing something that is going to be challenging in the sense that I feel it's like, kind of mentally challenging because you're taking that leap of faith. I feel you're kind of stepping out on your own, and you may feel like, oh yeah, you may feel like you're kind of floating there for a minute. Remember I said that earlier? I think maybe it was at the Star card, I'm not sure. But where you feel like you're kind of floating after you take that leap of faith, but then all of a sudden something locks into place and you're like, oh my gosh, everything's coming together, which is probably the Six of Cups here. The Seven of Wands. So, okay, if you have been going about your life and you came upon these sudden challenges, let's just say, for instance, that this is in your career, it's like challenge after challenge after challenge, and you're like, what is going on? Why is everything so difficult right now? Well, that's happening to get your attention. That's happening so that you kind of go and you sit and you figure out, like, what is going on? Why is everything so challenging? Why are people being mean to me? Why am I not getting things done the way that I used to? Why do I feel like I'm so drained, or that nothing's moving forward? Because you need to sit and contemplate and think about, why is this happening? Why am I having these challenges? And then from there, it's kind of like this opening. If you see up here, it's like, okay, things are starting to make sense to me. And then I feel that there's this breakthrough, because if you see these wands are like on the side of you here, you're very, very strong with this wand. You're like, okay, I got it. I see it. I get it. And then slowly but surely, I feel you start to feel more comfortable with taking a leap of faith with something. Let's look at your last card. Yep. I am not surprised you have the Two of Cups here. So you're finding balance in your life. You're finding harmony. Something, remember how over here I was talking about something might be out of balance, something may not feel right. Well, it's coming into balance here. There's growth. There's a reflection also here of what you want to see reflected in your life. This appreciation card, there's reciprocity. I feel also anything that you need along this path is presented to you, is gifted to you, almost kind of like the Six of Cups. If you need anything along the way, it is provided for you. There's emotional balance, there's stability. Everything flows so much easier. Remember the Seven of Wands, I was saying things feel like they're not flowing, they're not moving forward. Well, all of that changes once you really step into this new energy here. So that is what I have for you. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it helped you. If it did, please like and subscribe. And if you ever want to book a personal reading with me, you can do that on my website, which is linked below. Thank you so much for watching. Hello, group number 2. You have the Botswana Agate, and your card is number 36 and the Deer. The energy that I'm picking up from this is there's something here about joining two worlds together. That's one possibility, because you have the two buildings here. So I feel that you could be joining with, like, for instance, with an employer or an employee of yours, but there's some sort of addition to your life that's going to happen that is going to bring about this kind of metamorphosis, which is then leading you into this life that you're meant to live. So that's one thing that I'm seeing here. With the two buildings here, I'm also seeing that there's like this mirrored image of whatever it is that you've been visualizing, that's actually going to materialize in your life. I'm also picturing that you're going to have a lot of accomplishments, and these accomplishments are going to bring you a sense of, it feels like there's kind of like a sense of power with this, or a sense of loyalty from other people. But I feel like whatever this is that you have going on here, it's bringing a huge, huge sense of growth into your life. I'm feeling that there's a lot of happiness here, a huge sense of accomplishment. And I feel that all of this starts with you being loyal to your heart, you listening to what matters to you, for some of you, not ignoring red flags with people, places, things, and situations. When something doesn't feel right, you're not afraid to say no to it. And when something does feel right, you're not afraid to say yes to it. So really following your heart center, being true to yourself. And then once you do that, and maybe you're already doing that and it's going to be successful for you. Others of you may be learning how to do that. Either way, it's leading to success in your life. It's leading you to this life that you're meant to be living. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing here. Oh, one more thing. I think I may have said something like this, but I just feel like you're going to be greatly celebrated within any environment that you step into. So there's a lot of like reciprocity. There's a lot of unconditional love. There's a lot of learning going on here. So I feel that you're learning, but I feel that you may also be teaching other people at the same time. There's just a really great sense of loyalty, independence, things like that. So let's look at your other cards. What else would you like to say to group number 2, please? Okay, so you have number 14, single-mindedness. Choose your own path and what is best suited for you. Okay, so this is kind of what I was talking about when I was saying being loyal to your heart, listening to your heart, let your heart guide you. Don't ignore, any red flags, or, learn the power of saying yes and no to things that resonate with you. And like I said, some of you are already doing that. This is a general reading, so, not every single thing I say is going to resonate. But others of you are learning how to do that. And so it starts there, and then it expands, because obviously you can see here there's a school of fish. Well, when you follow your heart in the way that we're talking about with your Deer card, that's what I'm saying, how you attract other like-minded people, people with that same vibration, people who have learned to do the same thing that you are currently doing, or that you will be learning how to do. So there's a lot of balance coming in. There's also all of these elements that are needed for you to be living this, like your dream life, this life that you're meant to lead. All of those elements are coming together for you. I feel like there's something else with this card, but it's not coming through yet. But I feel it has something to do with number 14. So let's keep moving and see what else we have here. Okay, so we have number 28. Oh my gosh. 28, 14, and 14 is 28. I I told you there was something with the number 14. I just couldn't put my finger on it. Well, I guess I kind of did when I grabbed this card. Okay, so seeing both sides. Oh my gosh. Okay, this is so important, seeing both sides, because remember I was talking about the two castles here, the two buildings in that mirror image. Take a step back and try looking at this from a different perspective. Wow, that is so interesting, 14 and 14. So there could be something with 14, 28. My attention is being called to calendar months. Oh, you know what? February is a short month. I wonder if something will be happening in the month of February in any year, or maybe some of you started something in the month of February and you're going to start to see some results regarding that. But yeah, definitely pay attention to the number 14, the number 28, because I feel like there's something there that could have great meaning to some of you. So something that is calling my attention. So seeing both sides, take a step back and try looking at this from a different perspective. And it's interesting because over here, I was talking about listening to your heart, following your heart, and a sense of independence. And then you have single-mindedness here, but there's a split here. So 28 divided by 2 is 14. So for some of you, I feel that you may need to split with something. So this could be a romantic partnership. This could be a job. This could be a career. This could be splitting from where you grew up. Let's say if you're still living in the same general vicinity of where you grew up, it's possible that to really materialize this this life that you're meant to live, maybe you need to break away from something and, put yourself first, right? How I was talking about and being loyal to yourself. So if there's something going on where if you're in a partnership with someone or something, I feel Spirit is saying, take a look at that and see, is this what you want? Is this the path that's going to lead you into the life that you're meant to live? So let's look at your other cards. What else can you tell us for group number 2? Okay, so you have manifestation, and this is what I was talking about over here with visualizing and exactly what you want in your life. I feel you're going to be manifesting that. Your visualizations are going to be coming into fruition for you. But I feel like there's something about your manifestations, about your visualization, that I feel you're not seeing something, because so with these hammerhead sharks, the way that their eyes are, they can see like all around. So I feel like there could be something that you're not seeing. And maybe with here, choose your own path, maybe you're like following the path of other people. Let's say that if in your family, everybody is supposed to have the same career, or, your siblings went into the same field as your parents did, and you're feeling like, well, that's not really what's going to bring me happiness. And so maybe you need to kind of break away from doing things the old way in order for you to manifest. So let's see what else you have. So you have grounding here. You know what I feel with grounding is kind of like coming into your own energy, releasing anything that no longer serves you, letting go of things that are holding you back so that you can spread your wings and you can fly. And I feel that you're flying directly into the picture perfect life that not only do you want to live, but you're meant to live. And it's giving you also a sense of freedom, a sense of independence. It's like you're following your own path. And this is how you are achieving all of these great accomplishments. And it could also be that you've been in a career for quite some time and you're not really happy, and you're feeling kind of this conundrum of, I went to school, I studied this particular thing, I've been in this career for so long. Can I really step back from that? Saying like, if you're not really happy, can I step back from that at this point in my life, even though I've been doing this for 20 years? So yeah, I feel like there's something going on there. Or maybe, you're in a romantic relationship that you're realizing it's just not what you need. It's holding you back in some shape or form. So that's what I'm seeing here. Let's go ahead and get your tarot cards. Okay, what else would you like to say to group number 2, please? So you have the 10 of Cups, yeah. So you are absolutely going to have the happiness that you want. You're going to have this fulfilling life. And I feel that the way to get here is exactly what I was talking about in the very beginning, being loyal to your heart first. And then you're going to attract other people, places, things, and situations who are also loyal to their own heart. But then you're kind of finding each other. You're finding like-minded people. You're finding like-minded organizations. You're finding your place within a work environment, or you're bringing people into your own work environment. If you own a company or you run a department or something like that, you're bringing like-minded people in. So it's like starting with you first. And again, I think I used this analogy not too long ago, because the analogy I'm getting is when you're on the airplane and they tell you to put your oxygen mask on first in case of an emergency. So it's kind of like, well, you can't help other people. You can't necessarily nurture people to your highest good until you do that with yourself. And so I feel like that's something that's going on here, like following the path of least resistance for yourself to bring you the most alignment and the most happiness. All right, so the 2 of Pentacles, yeah. So there's a lot of alignment here. I also feel like there could be some sort of decision here. You might be kind of walking down, trying to let go of something in the past and walk into a new future for yourself, but there's this balancing act that's going on right now, especially because you have number 2. And look at this card is going to be right here. I'm touching both of these cards, and remember we have that split here, 28 and 14. So yeah, I feel that there's a decision coming up for you. And because here, this energy that I'm feeling, I'm really, really drawn to like the heart center, the heart chakra area here. And I feel like there's something that doesn't feel quite right. I'm kind of feeling like a pain. So it's something feels like there's something missing, or you know that you're going to have to make a decision to let something go, because I feel like you can't do 2 of these things at the same time. Now, that doesn't mean that if you're trying to start your own business and you're still working your regular job, it doesn't mean you can't do both of those at the same time. But to be fully fulfilled and grounded in this dream life that you have, something needs to go. And I feel that eventually you will be able to let something go, but it's just getting to that point where you feel comfortable letting something go. You work up the courage to let something go. So yeah, I feel there's gonna be some difficult decisions. Let's see what else we have here. The 3 of Wands, yeah. So, you know, with the 3 of Wands, you're waiting for something to happen. And I feel that for some of you, you've been waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, and nothing has happened yet. And that's because of this decision that you have here. It's like, well, this is what I want, and I thought I would get it with these 2 things here, but it's just not happening yet. And so here, I'm getting a sense of contemplation here. Typically, I feel that something is on its way to you with this card, which I feel it is, but I feel that something needs to happen before you get the ball rolling with whatever this is. So let's see what else you have. The 3 of Swords. Yeah, so something I feel needs to come to an end for you, because it's just not possible to grow anything here. So I feel it's going to be painful for you, but I also feel like this is a heavy lesson or growth process that you're going through, but look at what it's leading you to. It's leading directly to this manifestation. So I feel that even some of you may have had some sort of heartbreak that happened, where your heart was broken because of one situation or another, and you are still going through this grieving process. And if that's the case, then what I'm seeing here is, you know, everything that I've already said, but I'm seeing that you're going to become more grounded. I feel that you're going to be able to release this energy here, especially look at how you have the roots in both of these cards. Okay, so here everything's really, really dark. It looks like nothing. I mean, the tree's basically dead, right? But look at this over here. So yeah, if something happened, then there's a shift that's going to happen for you where you are able to let go of this. And this is also showing you taking the initiative to let something go so that you can step into that life that you've always dreamed about. So let's get more information. So you have the Devil card. Do you see how there's a fear? There's an attachment here that needs to be cut. That's what I'm seeing. Something needs to be cut off here. And even here, you can see how this line here with the heart, and there's, it looks like one of those, what are those things called? Is it a scythe? The thing that you use to like cut the weeds or something like that. And maybe I'm saying that wrong, but I feel like that's what this is here. So you still have some sort of attachment to something. And some of you may be trying to figure out how to make your dream life happen. But what I'm seeing with this Three of Wands, the grounding, the manifestation, you're going to be figuring it out. And as soon as you do that, it's like all of these new elements start to come into your life. So let's see what happens when you get rid of this Devil card. See, you have the Death and Rebirth card. Do you see what I'm saying? So, there is something trying to come through here because I'm getting a question like, how do I let go of this? That's what I'm getting in my mind. So I feel that a lot of you are going to be asking, well, yeah, that's great, but how do I do that? So with the Death and Rebirth card, I feel for some of you, there's going to be this great realization that happens. It's kind of like a great awakening, kind of like the Judgment card, where one day an answer appears to you. One day you have a light bulb moment of, oh my gosh, this is how I move forward. This is how I release someone or something or that had a hold on me, or this is how I release my fears. I feel for others of you, what you need to do is get very, very grounded, which can be very, very, very difficult when you are in this energy right here. But Spirit says, try to do your best to, first just, get calm and feel like a sense of quiet in your mind, in your environment, and just start doing that if you can for just a few minutes a day, 5 minutes if that's all you have. If you have longer, 20 minutes, half an hour, start doing that, because I feel that once you start doing that, that's when slowly but surely you start to release some sort of attachment, whatever it is. It's probably going to vary from person to person. And then if you look here, do you see where you're starting to see clarity? You're starting to see something new. So there's a shift that happens energetically, I feel, within your body, within your mind, which then I feel allows you to see the other side of the problem that you have going on here. So let's get more information for you. See the Tower card. Yeah. Okay. So what I was just saying, I really, this is convincing me that that is exactly what you need to get moving on this new path. Grounding, I feel, is extremely important for you to manifest this life that you want. I do feel, especially with the Death and Rebirth card here, that some of you, this attachment is going to remove itself from your life. So there could be something going on. Let me move these up just a little bit more, because these cards, these oracle cards up here are kind of big. So I want you to be able to see this card down here. Okay. So some of you, the situation that you're in, whether it's like a romantic relationship or a job, or maybe like you've always lived in the same place, like your hometown, and your family doesn't want you to move away, and so you're putting them first instead of yourself first. And I'm not saying that's bad or that's wrong. I'm just saying that could be something that's going on. So either something is breaking away from you, like let's say you hate your job, and the next thing you know, the office is closing, your job is closing, and then that allows you to, discover what it is that you want to be doing and pursuing that. So you're cutting the cord with this Two of Pentacles. For others of you, this is that light bulb moment that I feel is going to start happening, once you start grounding, once you calm your mind and you start asking the universe for a sign. And this Tower card's really interesting because you have all of the butterflies here. So it's kind of like you're coming out of a hibernation where some of you didn't even know you were hibernating. It's just kind of like you were going through the daily grind. So something is going to wake you up and cause a shift in your consciousness, cause a shift in the direction in your life. And then that's when you really step into this life that you're meant to be living. Okay, what else? The Page of Swords. Do you see what I'm saying here? Didn't I just mention a light bulb moment? You literally have light bulbs here, okay? So look at this sword here. So you're literally crossing from being attached to something to getting over to the other side. This is your new beginning here. And remember how I was saying you need to cut the cord? I was talking about that first over here with the Two of Pentacles. And then you literally have the sword here, the connector here between these two rocks here is a sword. So is it going to be difficult? Do you need to navigate this very, very carefully? Yes, you do. Otherwise, right, you could cut your feet. And it's also like, I feel you're kind of tiptoeing onto the other side of this because I feel probably everybody here is going to be stepping outside of their comfort zone, but it's freeing you. It is absolutely freeing you. So you have the birds here. I feel there's some sort of guidance coming in for you. So you can definitely ask your spirit guides for assistance, any higher power that you believe in. But you're definitely being guided to the other side here. You know, you have like this mirror image in this card also. Same thing that you have over here. You have it here too. A little bit here on this card. A little bit on this card. It's really interesting what's going on here. See? Oh my gosh. This is a few things going on here. This is freedom. This is clarity. This is you taking a leap of faith. This is you. Remember, how did I say it? I think I said being loyal to yourself first, putting yourself first. And that doesn't mean that, you know, you need to get rid of everybody in your life. That's just doing what's right for you, finally, because I feel a lot of you haven't done that for so long. You know, maybe some of you have children and, you know, you've been focusing on your children, putting them first. Maybe they're leaving the house and now it's time for you to step into who you are, who you're supposed to become, right? Maybe some of you were always doing what you thought you should be doing. Whatever it is, it's time for you to step out into so I'm hearing step out into your guiding light, step out into like your heart center. That's also coming up again here. But also, I mean, notice how you have the treasure here. So it's very exciting. It's very, very exciting that here you're crossing over from these cards here, and what you step directly into is the Nine of Cups. So you're in direct alignment for this success, for this life that you're meant to live. See? Yeah, the Page of Pentacles. So look at how this Page of Pentacles is going right below the Three of Swords card. So this is your new beginning. Also look at how grounding or how grounded this card is. Isn't it interesting that you have this massive tree here? And then you have this massive tree stump here. At least that's what it looks like to me in this particular reading. So this is your new beginning, right? You have two pages right here. So some of you, I feel with the Pentacles, some of you are going to be stepping into a sense of independence, like I said earlier, but like being single. For some of you, you're going to kind of explore that world. Some of you might be stepping out into the world within your living situation where you're living by yourself. So if you are living with family or friends or romantic partner, I'm seeing you kind of moving out on your own and trying things on your own. Some of you are going to be changing careers and, you know, venturing out into something new, or you're going to be starting your own business. And here's the thing, you're not going to have all the answers when you first try to do this, when you first start this whole situation here. But really the first step is just being grounded and thinking about that, and brainstorming, writing down ideas, visualizing, manifesting, things like that. Because what I'm seeing is that once you get to this point over here, even a little bit with the Tower card, because once you start asking the universe to bring things into your life to help you on this new path, you could have kind of like a Tower moment in the positive sense, where bam, something shows up and it's like, oh my gosh, this just gave me a new idea. Or, oh my gosh, I just made a really cool new contact. And with that contact, it's gonna, they can help me meet other people or whatever it is. The Queen of Pentacles, this is where you're going. This is your energy. So remember in the beginning, I said that sense of independence. There's a great sense of loyalty with what you're going to be doing here. You're very, very accomplished. I was talking about that with the Deer card. You have the scroll here. So I'm almost seeing like the scroll is representing accomplishments that you're going to make, something that you might be hanging on your wall. But I also see it as other people are going to see all of your accomplishments. People are going to want to be around you. People are going to want you in their environment because you have so much to contribute. I feel you are so much wiser here than you were when you first started. And not that you're not wise here, but here you have mastered something. You have found your independence. You found your happiness. You are stable, secure. You have long-term growth within this new life that you're going to be building. And isn't it interesting that the Queen has the branches here very similar to the antlers on the deer here? So there's a lot of growth, a lot of wisdom. Finances, you're going to be very secure financially. You're going to be very comfortable financially, but in who you are, in the fact that you broke free from the Devil card. And isn't it interesting that you also have this tree here? You're so grounded. I feel, obviously metaphorically speaking, but I feel with this Queen of Pentacles, you've kind of become one with this energy here, with this tree, with these roots here. So do you see the massive, massive difference? Look at the Three of Swords compared to this card, and then the Three of Swords compared to this card. So you have just such incredible growth, but death and rebirth, right? It requires breaking free from something. Especially, don't forget, you have 14 and 28 here. So really interesting how this kind of played in and through your entire reading. The Knight of Pentacles. Okay, this is amazing. So the Page of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles, and your last card is the Knight of Pentacles. Do you see how you're like laying a foundation as you go forward? You're laying these really, really strong roots, something that is bringing you a sense of purpose. And also, do you see how you're kind of going along your own path here? Which is exactly what I was getting from the very beginning, being loyal to you, to your heart, doing what's right for you. And this is a slow process, but I feel like once you step into this with the Nine of Cups here, once you figure out how to get from one side to the other, and it will happen. I mean, look here, you have 4 light bulbs right here, so it is going to come to you. Some of you will be receiving communication from the other side, and that's going to help you move forward. Some of you will be getting messages in your dreams. Some of you may need to study something. And I feel like it's not necessarily going back to school. It could be just buying a book or watching a video online, or maybe just brainstorming and writing your ideas down. Okay, so over here, slowly but surely you're getting there. You have this new idea, and does it take a while? Yeah, it does take a little while to get there, but I feel like you're enjoying the process, and I feel like money comes in little by little by little. So I feel that you have enough to sustain yourself until you get to the Queen of Pentacles here. But yeah, this is you really stepping into who you're supposed to be, walking the path that you're meant to walk. So yeah, this could definitely have to do with career, moving somewhere, finding yourself, going on a soul journey, things like that. But just know that you are going to get there. You're going to feel very, very satisfied. You're going to have so much self-growth and just a very long list of accomplishments. So I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please like and subscribe. And if you ever want to book a personal reading with me, you can do that on my website, which is linked below. Thank you so much for watching. Hello, group number 3. You have the Rainforest Jasper, and your card is number 2 and the Mountain. All right, so I feel some of you have a decision to make about going towards your dreams, going after your dreams, or intuitively following a path that you feel is right for you. And I feel that you're definitely being intuitively guided somewhere, and whatever this is, it's going to lead you to success. I feel that so I feel like what is required here in order for you to have this life that you're meant to live is that you need to break out of your comfort zone and you need to move forward, even though you know that this road is challenging. Because I feel that there's something going on here where this is like your soul calling, but it's also very challenging, but it's also going to be very, very rewarding. So, it's kind of like, because I feel like even though it's challenging, you're still enjoying the adventure. You're still enjoying moving forward in this direction. Will you like the path 100% of the days that you're on it? Probably not, because sometimes those challenges are going to be very frustrating, right? But overall, yes, it's going to be so satisfying. But yeah, it's a road ahead of you. But it's leading you to, like I'm hearing like the summit with the mountain here. It's leading you to a dream life look at the little lamb here and the moon. It's leading you to a life that you have been dreaming of, that you've been hoping for. There's something about money that I'm seeing. I'm hearing the money will follow. But if you need money to get started, I feel the money will also follow once you get started. So getting started doesn't mean that you necessarily have to have money to get started, because getting started for some of you could just mean writing out a plan, saying this is what I'm going to do when I get this amount of money. Or maybe you can, see if there's any way that you could get a loan or a credit card or something like that. And I know it's easier said than done for some of you. But I'm just seeing like getting the ball rolling, just starting to think about things and asking the universe for signs and direction and things like that. That is actually getting started. So let's look at your other cards. Ooh. Okay, and I feel this one. Number 6, looking at the underbelly. Be sure that you are using your time in the best possible manner. You might consider taking time to organize yourself, or perhaps a project you are working on could use some fine tuning. So this is kind of what I was saying, where getting started doesn't mean that you're literally, taking a leap of faith and jumping off the cliff and going for it. It just means, writing something down, visualizing, thinking about your plans in the future, saying, making plans, connecting A and B and C together. So yeah, I feel like this can also be talking about kind of going into like this hermit mode, in the sense where you're doing some soul searching. So let's just say if you're not happy where you are, and you want to make changes in your life, be sure that you are using your time in the best possible manner. Instead of sitting there and dwelling on the fact of how unhappy you are, Spirit is saying to try to logically figure out, well, okay, if I'm not happy here, where would I be happy? So just as simple as just starting to contemplate things and, kind of moving on from there. And I know how difficult it is when you're not happy where you are, to try to do anything, because really all you want to do is just go home and kind of veg out, or just, sleep. but I'm seeing that it's possible in your case. And I'm seeing that there is going to be some sort of guiding light or light bulb moment or something with the light coming down here. So let's see what else you have. So you have number 39, back on task. Be sure you are using your time in the best possible manner. And then here, be sure that you are using your time in the best possible manner. It's literally the same thing. It says the exact same thing, that first sentence there. That is so fascinating to me. Okay, you might consider reviewing your goals, your schedule, or a project you are working on. All could use some fine tuning. Very interesting. So maybe some of you got distracted. Maybe some of you tried something before and it didn't work out. And now Spirit is saying, hey, look at this thing again, because I'm feeling that it's possible for you to actually get going now. So maybe there's some sort of divine timing going on with your situation where before it didn't work out, but Spirit is saying, hey, get back on task. Look at this thing again, because now it is the right time. Oh, okay, thank you. It's these two cards. Magic and miracles. Wow. Okay, there's something about this, because look at how you have the road here. Do you see that? How you have the road here? And then you have the top of the mountain, and then you have the road here. And then you have the two people here, you have the two flowers here, the two hands here. So, remember just a minute ago I said something about divine timing, and this is also number 2 here. I said something about divine timing where before it may not have been the right time for you. I feel for some of you, something could be coming back into your life. You could even be having memories from like a past life that's coming into your conscious, coming from your subconscious, right? The underbelly coming up from the subconscious, where now it's visual or visible is what I'm trying to say. And when that happens, then you're getting back on task with something. So it could even be maybe you were supposed to step into, so this life that you're meant to live in this life here, maybe in a past life you didn't get to finish that, or maybe you didn't get to accomplish something, and so it's coming back. It's so fascinating to me that you have it twice here. Be sure that you are using your time in the best possible manner. So interesting. And then you might consider taking time to organize yourself. You might consider reviewing your goals, your schedule, or a project you're working on. See, oh my gosh, these cards say the same thing basically, all the way through. Be sure that you are using your time in the best possible manner. You might consider taking time to organize yourself, or perhaps a project you are working on could use some fine-tuning. Be sure you are using your time in the best possible manner. You might consider reviewing your goals, your schedule, or a project you are working on. All could use some fine-tuning. That's your message. This here, what these two cards are saying, is going to lead you to magic and miracles, because everything comes into alignment. I feel this is the time for you. There's absolutely divine timing going on here. Okay, sorry, but I was just so engrossed in how these two cards are saying like the exact same thing. I never noticed that before. And then even when I read this one and then I read this one, I still didn't realize that it's like quite literally the same thing that these two cards are talking about. Okay, so here you have peace. So what I'm feeling here is that this is you kind of stepping into and being one with this life that you're meant to live. This is you knowing that you're on the right path, even though it is scary, even though you're taking a risk, even though you're taking a leap of faith. Spirit is saying have peace in knowing that you are on the right path, and knowing that everything is going to be provided for you. What other information can you give us for group number 3? All right. So you have the Two of Swords. Yeah, didn't I say something about this over here, that you may have a decision to make? You may be at a crossroads, especially with number 6 here, because that takes me to the Lover's card in the tarot deck, where there's a decision to make. You're trying to decide, where do I go from here? Exactly what we have here. Now, the thing that's interesting is that it looks like you have, different pathways that you could go. So I feel like there are multiple options for you, but I'm getting this strong pull in one direction where your heart is saying, no, I need to go here. Or maybe it's not even your heart. Maybe it's just your intuition pulling you in this one direction. And you're like, I don't know why I need to go in that direction. I never thought about that before. And you're like, why? That doesn't even make any sense. Why does that place, or why does that thing keep popping up in my mind? So what you want to do to explore that, or maybe you don't know what direction to go in, and you're at a pause in your life where you're just kind of sitting there waiting for something to happen, waiting for a sign, waiting to figure things out. What you want to do is exactly what's going on in this card here. Try to sit with that energy. I'm going to push these up a little bit because these cards, the oracle cards in this tarot deck are really big. Okay, so you want to sit here and, allow those downloads to come in. So even if it's really, really difficult for you to find a place of peace in your life right now, Spirit says just try to do your best to be in this energy for 2 minutes a day. If you don't have 5 minutes, then just try to do it 1 minute, whatever it is for you, 30 seconds, because I'm feeling that Spirit is going to give you some downloads. You just need to be in a place where you can receive them, because I feel like a lot of you have already been offered signs or synchronicities or something like that, but there's some sort of background noise. It's kind of like when the music is really, really loud and you're trying to have a conversation with someone else, and it's like you're not really being able to get the full context of the conversation, or maybe if you can't see someone's facial expressions or something like that, right? So I feel that you just need to quiet your mind. You need to take a pause. And I feel that there's going to be a very, very clear way forward, a very clear direction moving forward. See? The Eight of Swords. Look at how similar these two cards are. But see, the important thing here is that this person has the sword and is getting ready to cut away something that was binding this person, holding this person in place, which is exactly what we have here with the Two of Swords. You're kind of stuck. It's like, I can't move forward. I can't go back. I don't know which direction to go. And so there could even be a sense of panic, a sense of feeling incredibly drained and tired. But look at these cards, right? They're below here. So looking at the underbelly, looking at what is wrong with your current environment, with your current situation, how can things change that would make you feel more comfortable, that would make you feel like you're back on track? So, back on task, looking at the underbelly, and how these two cards said the same thing. So you have the Ace of Cups. Do you see how amazing this is? And can you see I don't know if you can really see with the lighting, but yeah, see how you have the sun rays coming down. So here you're really, really stuck with the Two of Swords. Also, maybe you made a couple decisions in your life with the two here, and maybe neither one of those decisions panned out for you. And now you're really feeling stuck, like, okay, I made 2 decisions here, neither one of them worked. So how do I know what the proper decision is moving forward? Well, I'm telling you, there is some sort of download. There's some sort of answer that kind of comes out of the blue. There's a new beginning coming in for you. What is it with 3? These 3 plants here with the hearts on them. And then the two little diamonds, or whatever those are called right here. 3 and 2. Well, your first card is 2. Okay, I'm not sure exactly is it 5? Maybe 5 has some significance for you. But what I see happening is you're breaking free. And I just said 3. You're breaking free from some sort of thought process where you felt like you were stuck, where you couldn't pursue something. So here you have the Magician. Yeah, there's some sort of download that's coming in. some sort of information where you're manifesting. So the Magician card, you're manifesting, you're planning, you're creating. And then you have magic and miracles right above the Magician card. So there's a massive shift that's coming in for you. And you know what I feel it could be is some of you need to really listen to what I said earlier about divine timing, because I feel for some of you, your situation could have something to do with someone else coming into your life, in the sense of, let's say that you were looking for your perfect job and you looked and looked and looked and looked and you couldn't find anything, or you didn't get hired anywhere. And what Spirit is saying now is get back on task, start thinking about that again, because there's going to be, you know, a perfect job opening at the perfect company that's coming in. So you could be on the path, on the road to meeting someone very significant, someone who already works at that company. And then, you know, you meet this person and then you end up working there. It's also a great time for you to do something that gives you more independence. Some of you might be artists, or you're trying to create your own business, or you're trying to break free from limitations that you had in a current job or career or something like that. You're looking for more fulfillment. There's something about the timing of you starting this now or in the near future where everything just kind of falls into place for you. So you have the Seven of Swords, very interesting card. So first of all, you don't want to let self-doubt get in the middle of your plan. I feel this is also talking about looking at the underbelly, back on task. I feel with the Seven Swords here, these are things that could have been distracting you. People, places, things, situations, including your own mind. Things that are no longer needed nor beneficial to where you're going. So trying to release all of these things, because I feel here that this person is almost taking these swords and putting them in the ground. So letting go of your worries, you know, like, so let's say if you're meditating or if you are grounding and you're sitting in a chair and you have your feet on the ground, I'm almost visualizing that that's what you're doing here, and you're just letting go of all of your worries, anything that isn't beneficial to you, and you're sending it back into the earth, and then you're finding peace, and then you're back on task here. So yeah, and like I said, this could be imposter syndrome or something. It could be where something didn't work out for you before, but now it is going to work out. So you want to let go of anything that is causing a distraction for you. You have the Death card. See, there's something about, I just heard reforming, in the sense of like reformation. For some of you, trying something a second time, things coming together this time. There's a lot of growth. And there's also letting go of something that no longer serves you, which is what I was talking about here with the Seven of Swords. So you have this death and rebirth process that's going on here. So I feel some of you outgrew something. I also feel some of you could be taken advantage of where you currently are. Some of you don't feel comfortable in your current environment, where I feel like for some of you, you've tried and tried and tried to fit in to a certain, like a certain career, a certain environment, being around certain people, and it just never felt right. And so letting go of whatever this is here that's negative is going to lead you directly into this new beginning here. Let's see what else you have. Wow. So you have the Magician and you have the Emperor. That is amazing. So you have your power back. Whatever was stealing your power over here, you have the Death card, you have your power back. And you have major plans here, right? So this back here, this is the life that you are meant to live. This back here on the Magician card is the life you are meant to live. You're releasing something that's blocking you from that path, and here you're moving forward. So here, you have the paper rolled up here. Here at this point, you have the answers that you need to move forward here, to end this standstill, to figure out your path, And then you start this journey up here toward the mountain here. So here, you're not just visualizing like you were with the Magician card. You're not just preparing for your future here. You're stepping into it. You're taking those first few steps because you've decided, okay, I'm going to go this way. I'm going to do this. You're very, very powerful. And then I feel everything starts to shift for you and you start building this life that you want to live. You have the Temperance card. See, you have so much balance coming in. All of the necessary ingredients for you to achieve your dream start coming into alignment. The clouds are clearing here. Look at, you have the rainbow here. Look at, everything is flowing for you and you are much more at peace. So I feel that you're at peace because you got rid of this here, but I feel you're also at peace with your decision to move forward, with your decision to let go of something, your decision to listen to your heart, and you're back on task. You're focused here. And I feel you're very, very organized. Remember, these two cards talked about that here, especially with the Magician and the Emperor card. And you know, another thing that's so interesting about the Magician card and the Seven of Swords. So if you have imposter syndrome or if you feel self-doubt or anything like that, the Magician card literally says, look, you're ready. You have everything that you need to start on this journey down here. So don't doubt yourself. Don't doubt your plans. You have what it takes to make it through these challenges here, this long road here. And if you don't have everything right now, you will with the Magician card. Everything's going to come together. You're going to gather all the information, all the resources that you need to actually move forward. And I really, really feel once you have a plan, you don't have to have the entire plan, but once you have that plan, everything falls into place for you at the Temperance card. Yep, you have the Judgment card. So some of you just feel stuck. You're like, I feel stuck. Yeah, I want to get back on task with something, but I don't know what that task is. Right? And so that's what I'm saying here. I think I mentioned the Hermit card, that it was kind of reminding me of that, where you're seeking answers, you're going within, you're trying to figure out what is it, right, that can bring me this life that I'm meant to live, because I'm not happy where I am. I feel like I'm stuck. I feel like I don't know what to do, what direction to go. Well, if you can do what I was saying here with the Peace card and accept those downloads from the universe, there's going to be something that is so incredibly obvious to you. I mean, it's a little bit beyond a light bulb moment. I feel it's like a light bulb and then sirens blaring at you saying, hey, this is exactly what you've asked for. Think about this. It's going to be something that you absolutely cannot ignore. It's going to be so obvious to you. And this is what gets your brain moving. This is what allows you to see this Ace of Cups here and say, oh my gosh, this I could do this here, or this is how I get from the Magician over to the Emperor, where I have this idea and I'm planning and I'm ready to move forward with something, but I don't know how to do that, right? So people, places, and things start falling into place in your life with the Temperance card, and then you're moving forward. So yeah, have patience with yourself and the universe if you don't have the idea yet, or you don't know how to go forward yet, because it's going to happen and you will be on your way here. And also look at how you have the crown here. So this is making me think of like the Queen or King of Pentacles, where you're on your own path, you're doing something, you're finding your independence, you're finding yourself, you're following a dream. It's a lot of hard work. It's going to take some time, but you are going to be there. You are going to be successful. There's a lot of longevity with whatever this is that you're going to be starting. The Seven of Cups. All right, so I feel this is connected to the Judgment card, because something that happens here, it sparks your creativity. It sparks your kind of starting to question things, starting to look at things differently, starting to say, okay, what are the possibilities here? What can I do with this idea? How can I bring everything together? What do I need to make this happen? Because if you see here, so see how it's really, really cloudy down here? But then you go up And some of the cups are still almost completely covered. There's just a little sliver in the corner here that's not covered. Same thing with this cup. But what's happening is the answers are starting to show up here. Your idea is starting to take shape here. And instead of having like no options with the Eight of Swords, at least that's how it felt. Here you have multiple options, multiple avenues. You're seeing with this Temperance card how everything that you need is, you're starting to get clarity on everything. So yeah, and I mean, look at how you have, I mean, I got to point this out again. The Magician and Magic and Miracles. It's literally the universe here with the magic and miracles is conspiring in your favor to make things happen so that not only can you see what the end goal is here, but you can see the pathway to get there. I can't believe how similar these two cards are. It's amazing to me. Okay, so here you have the Ten of Cups. This is you really kind of doing a 180, some of you, going from a situation where you were in the Seven of Swords energy, where maybe you had self-doubt, maybe you didn't think something was possible, or you were in an environment that could have been toxic. Maybe you were working for a company that didn't value you, or maybe you were around people that were doing something underhanded. Whatever it is, there's an incredible sense of feeling uncomfortable here, where it feels like you want to shake something off. There's a weird energy here that I do not like. And the reason why I'm feeling that is because you don't like it either. And this could just be you feeling stuck and just that energetic pull that you want to do something else, but you don't know how. But see, the thing that's interesting is that this person's coat is open. So here you feel like you're stuck, but you have the sword here and you're cutting those ties. And then here your coat is open. So I definitely feel like what I was saying earlier, where you're dropping off these things that were once holding you back, that's absolutely happening. That's confirmation that that's happening. You're starting to feel more comfortable with letting go of things that were tying you down. So this could be people, places, things, situations. This could be your mind. And what is shifting, you're entering environments that bring you peace. You're entering environments that feel comfortable. They feel like you belong there. And then you have the Ten of Cups here. So there's new beginnings on this new path forward. This is the life that you're meant to live. This is balance. This is accomplishment. This is emotional freedom, right? You're no longer stuck like you were over here. You've achieved your dreams here. And then not even just that, but there's more to come because you have these two young children here. So you have seen something grow, right? Something that you started here. Well, I mean, you started it all throughout this reading, but the Magician card, you started building and seeing things take shape and form with the Emperor card. So you're getting closer and closer on your path here to the mountaintop with these two children. And clearly these are very young children and they have a long way to grow. That's exactly what you have on this new path. So it's something that you're going to nurture. It's something that you're going to feel so proud of. Like I said, a great sense of accomplishment. This is exactly what you were hoping for. I just heard for some of you it's going to be better than what you initially thought, but you're going to feel such an incredible sense of relief that you're no longer living here. Okay, the Queen of Coins. This is the Queen of Pentacles. Didn't I tell you this crown over here made me think of the Queen or the King of Pentacles? And then this is your very last card. So remember everything that I said about the Queen or King of Pentacles over here. That's exactly what I'm seeing here. I'm seeing that you're very, very, very fruitful. You're very successful with something. You have hit the mark. You have reached your goals. And I feel that you get to the mountaintop here. I feel that you get over here to this castle here. And then you have this great sense of success. And then I feel that there's something else that you're in a sense giving birth to. So maybe literal birth. Maybe some of you want to have a family, you want to meet your special partner, you want to have children, but you haven't met the special person yet. So maybe getting back on task, maybe you're supposed to get out there and start dating again, right? So maybe you're going to have 2 children and then you're going to decide to have a 3rd child. So that's just something that came up. For others of you, I'm feeling like, these 2 children here, metaphorically speaking, represent the progress that you've made. So you have a great sense of accomplishment here. And then I feel like there's this expansion from this point. So expansion with the two children here, metaphorically speaking. And then here it's like, oh, I have this other idea where I can expand even further. So there's a lot of productivity, there's a lot of activity, there's, like I said, longevity, but there's also, I feel, continual movement within whatever you have already built at this point. So here you have the means. Here you're at peace, so you can think about expanding. You can think about, I've reached one goal, now where can I go? You have the financial means to do it, right? You're no longer strapped by emotions, finances, anything that would make you feel stuck over here. Mainly with the Two of Swords, Eight of Swords, and Seven of Swords here. So that is what I'm seeing for you. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please like and subscribe. And if you ever want to book a personal reading with me, you can do that on my website, which is linked below. Thank you so much for watching.